Okay, so this is going to be my first attempt at making a white chili. And I have set all, ooh, there's my drink. Yep, there's my old fashioned ready to go. I have set all the necessary ingredients here on the counter that I'm going to be using to make this chili. Never made this chili before, looked at a few recipes online and decided to kind of put a little bit of this and a little bit of that together. So I'm going to start with the chicken, and I'm actually going to saute it in a pan with garlic and salt and pepper. And then I'm going to add in the onions and the mushrooms and the peppers towards the end, and let all that cook and get soft. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of that mixed together. I'm going to chop up the chicken into little pieces, and I'm actually going to combine all of that with these ingredients in a crock pot. Haven't really decided which spices I'm going to use yet, but these are some of the ones that I'm thinking are going to make the chili taste the way a chili should, and nice and spicy. And at the end, I have some cilantro and some scallions here that I'll probably chop up at the end and just place on the top when the chili is done, just to give it like a fresh flavor and a pop of color. So we'll be back in a few as we progress so you guys can see how it comes along. Okay, so we've got the chicken sauteing in the pan with a little extra virgin olive oil. And when that gets done, I'm going to reuse that same pan, and I'm going to saute this garlic that I have muddled over here in the mortar and pestle. And then over here I have the veggies chopped up. And notice that I left the jalapeno peppers big. Some people don't like the spice, so I'm putting it in there for flavor, but I'll be able to take it out and find it later so that someone doesn't bite into like a big chunk of jalapeno pepper if they don't want to. And then we'll be back with some more when this gets done, and I'll show you guys how it's all coming together. Okay, so I want you guys to notice that as the chicken is cooking, it is getting nice and brown, and I don't want you to worry about that and think that that's bad. I'm going to show you a little trick here in just a minute that's going to show you how to actually get rid of that when you're done cooking. It's like a simple little trick, so we'll be back in a moment to see that trick before we start the veggies. Guys, so here's the magic trick. It's a very hot pan. It's full of smoke and grit and yuck, and what are you going to do with this? Watch this. So I'm going to deglaze the pan, as they say. And I'm going to use the white wine to do that, as you guys will see. Look at the bottom of the pan. Everything is coming up off of it. And in a moment, I'm going to be able to use this pan and a little bit of these drippings to cook the vegetables. And it's going to add a really nice flavor to the chili and to the vegetables that I'm going to be putting in here in just a moment. So we'll be back with more. Oh yeah, look at that. So that's all the drippings with the mushrooms and the onions and the garlic and the red peppers. And I have set the chicken aside to cool, and I'm going to chop that up shortly. And then everything will start going into the crock pot. All right, now I am going to combine the mushroom mixture here with the onions over here into the crock pot that I've put the chicken in. I chopped it into pieces. And then little by little, I will start adding additional ingredients. All right, guys, so here's what we have so far. We have in here the chicken, the vegetables, and we actually have 2 cans of beans and a little bit of liquid. And I'm going to turn around here, and I'm going to show you what I have added for liquid. So I added a can of cream of chicken soup. I also added an entire can of water. So after I emptied out the soup, I filled it up with water and added that into the crock pot. I also put the liquid from 1 can of corn in there to add some corn flavor. I'm not going to add the corn now because I feel like if I add it now, it's going to like disintegrate because I'm going to cook the chili for a while. I also added some white wine. Whatever white wine you have will work. I added about half a cup of white wine. And then I added small white beans and some pink beans. I did rinse those first before I put them in there. I also added a package of tomatoes. As far as seasoning so far, what I have put is Chili 3000 from Penzeys Spices. And as you can see, it's pretty all-inclusive. I don't know if I'm gonna need much more than what's in there, but if I do, I have all my spices over there ready to go. And for liquid, I'm gonna actually add 2 cups of chicken broth. And then from there, I'm gonna let the chili sit together for several hours. And then I'm gonna taste it and see how we're doing and what we need to add for spices. See you guys soon. All right, guys, and here is the finished product. I will tell you honestly, I did have to add a little bit of cornstarch over here in order to thicken it up a little bit, and it's still not really the consistency that I'd like it to be. You guys see it's still a little bit liquidy, but it's been cooking now for probably 12 hours or so. So the flavors have come together really nice. The chicken has turned into like little shredded pieces, and can't wait to have my first bowl. Who's gonna join me?